Before I begin, I would like to take a minute to say a thank you to parents, grandparents, and families that have supported the students in the 8th grade class in 2013. I would also like to thank the faculty for their unwavering willingness to provide the necessary challenge and support that each of these students requires to succeed. Of course, I would be remiss if I did not thank the voice and face of the middle school for another outstanding year, Mrs. Gina Limon. As you may know, there are some faculty members leaving us at the end of this year. Tanya Berkowitz, who should be credited for a full revision of the middle school Spanish program, isn't really leaving, but she is moving to the upper school. Tanya, your work in the middle school has been most appreciated, and you will be missed. Jane Merrill was fortunate to have a whole career at Chesapeake Academy, soon to be Severn School Chesapeake campus, and another whole career here in Severn's middle school. Jane is retiring at the end of this year, but she will be around for a few weeks in the fall, helping out with the new iPads. Colin Welsh is leaving to pursue a head lacrosse coach and teaching position at Christian Brothers High School in Memphis, Tennessee. We wish him luck and hope that his preppy J.Crew outfits won't make him stand out too much down south. Many 8th grade classes have that one kid who's in the spotlight all the time. You know her or him. The headmaster's list kid who makes it every marking period consecutively since the fall of 6th grade. Wins all the awards of promotion, from arts to athletics and everything in between. You are going to hear some names more than once today, but you are also going to see that in this class, the talent is noticeably spread around. I can't cover every student, so I'd like to spend some time talking to you about some groups within this class that share the spotlight throughout the year. As a disclaimer, you should know that it is expected for kids to see themselves and parents to see their kids in more than one of these groups. Here's the first group. I want you to listen closely to this one because this class happens to have a lot of these kids. And in my opinion, these students are stars, but they don't tend to win awards. I'll describe this group as the hard and smart workers. There are several kids in this class who deserve a big congratulations today for simply putting in the time and the effort required for success. These students know that effort can compete with raw ability and can even outdo ability when ability doesn't work as hard. As stated by Winston Churchill, continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. Over the last 3 years, I have seen these students evolve into smart workers, kids who know how to study, what questions to ask, when to advocate for themselves, when to seek extra help, and how to perform. The girls. Middle school is so often fraught with what we now refer to as girl drama. I have to take a minute to thank and to recognize the girls in this class for their maturity, ability to navigate friendships with poise and diplomacy, gracious acceptance of new friends, and the honor they bestowed on long-time relationships. I'm not saying that over the years there have been no hurt feelings. There have been. That is part of growing up. By and large, and especially this year, you girls should be recognized for how good you've been to one another. The guys, you've been great as well. Good students and model citizens, usually. I can't, however, resist a few observations, such as, you undoubtedly have the best hair I have ever seen. Bieber might have originated it, but you guys perfected it. I compared pictures of of you in 6th grade to pictures of you now, and there have been a lot of changes to the float. Sending Mr. Welsh an email recommending yourself for Student of the Week. I enjoyed reading that message, a skilled comedian. Throughout the year, you showed true leadership skills by bravely holding up your hands, like mine, to quiet down the other students in morning meeting. I don't know how I ever did it without your support. Other classes came up with table topping, socking, booking, with the giant outdoor dodgeball game, aptly named All Out War. Was a first. The academics. A number of you are the kid I referred to earlier, headmaster's list since 6th grade. You are competitive and committed students who are motivated by being recognized for your proven ability to achieve the top grades. In an academic environment like Severn's, that's a natural place from which to draw your motivation. And I applaud you for seeking the only true academic standard, excellence. But I would ask you to remember, as Benjamin Franklin said, without continual growth and progress, such words as achievement and success have no meaning. In other words, keep growing, keep striving to be the best. The extracurriculars. Did you know our boys' soccer team was undefeated? Many of the contributors to that effort are right here, as well as the backbone and the leadership of our first ever middle school football team. And how about basketball? I have just never seen a middle schooler who can play like that. This class also boasts a rower, a competitive ice skater, and a nationally ranked gymnast among its ranks. The musical, after it was over, I went home and I rented The Little Mermaid on Netflix. I wanted to compare the professionals' voices for Ariel and Ursula. Yours were better. King Triton, I fear your wrath. Eels, you gave me bad dreams for weeks. In this class, there is a talented flautist, pianist, and the most soulful saxophonist you'd ever want to hear. Several guitar players strummed tunes and sang for us at performances, and who could forget the drums, especially the bongo drums. Everyone deserves credit and appreciation for their amazing service learning projects. Even the advisory presentations were great. I mean, who could forget the new kids? Elizabeth, Matt, Connor, Kelsey, Emma, Eddie, Savannah, Sophie, and Patrick. It is never easy to start over at a new school. Harder than ever to start in 8th grade. I and the entire faculty want to congratulate you on an incredible year. We're very thankful to have gotten to know you, deeply appreciate the many gifts you've brought the Severn student body. That's the last of my groups. When I wrote this speech, I had the 8th grade Facebook open in front of me, and I could place each and every kid in more than one. I hope you have been able to do so as well. I leave you with a challenge. This year's graduating senior class was 8th graders when I came to Severn as middle school head. I was feeling nostalgic sitting at upper school graduation 2 Saturdays ago, and I noticed that the president of the student council, the president of the senior class, and the valedictorian, who all spoke at graduation, had all been in that 8th grade. 7 of the 11 awards given at graduation were won by students who sat right there in those seats only 5 years ago. Of any class I've had the privilege to know, this one certainly, definitely, has the potential to equal or surpass those accolades. Do us proud in the upper school.
Hello, 2017 and welcome parents and visitors. I wanted to take a moment to recognize our parents. Every day they pick you up and drive you to school, make your lunches, help you with homework, and help you with studying. When you go home today, make sure to thank your parents for all they have done to further your learning experience. Today we graduate and move on to the high school. The definition of graduation is the receiving or conferring of an academic degree or diploma. I know you're thinking, well, duh, but graduation means something more to me. For me, it means starting a new chapter in my life, gaining new responsibilities, and making new friends while keeping old ones. Starting a new chapter in my life also means working harder because the expectations will be higher as we prepare for college. Before we stress over college applications, though, let's reflect on our middle school years. My first year at Severn was a blur. There was a few main things I do remember. I remember we used to run to class to be the first ones there, but now we're just happy if we get there on time, let alone being early. I also remember Mr. Maloney sometimes breaking into a drum and harmonica solo and telling us that Waka Waka Bashikiro was a classic. One of my less fond memories was being bombarded in the shower locker room by fellow sixth graders. I found 7th grade the hardest year for me. Even though we were glad we were the lowest in the totem pole, the teachers tried to lay down the foundation for 8th grade. The concepts and skills were tough, however very necessary. Some of the classes were even physically hard, like Miss Donovan's class, where we had to dance the Charleston and navigate the Severn campus in below freezing weather during the Lewis Clark expedition. There were 2 projects I was particularly fond of in 7th grade. The first one was Mr. Welsh's 7th grade English project, where we had to make the album cover. My group did a spoof on the Beatles when they walk across the street. We scored extra for creativity. The second was the Miracle Grow Lab. In science, I remember adding extra Miracle Grow so I could have the longest grass. I apologize to my partner for messing up the results. I think my final and most important memory from 7th grade was our trip to Tuckahoe. I remember my 8-person tent that slept 3 people, and our porch, which had a dead log as a bench. I think my 2 most favorite parts of Tuckahoe were Mr. Cole's Bear Grylls survival suggestions and pulling all-nighter with my friends. Now to our most recent and final year of middle school, 8th grade. The best year of all, in my opinion. We started the year with our fantastic trip to Echo Hill, where I came home with bug bites all over me and a total of 3 hours of sleep. And then to an undefeated year of boys soccer, where I learned from Miss Josie to question everything, even things you see and you hear. Every time I walked into Mr. James's classroom, I had a new fear, whether it was the certainty of aliens attacking or finding out I wasn't one of the students being saved during the alien apocalypse. I know everyone in Mr. Yo's light class enjoyed watching I, Claudius and learning that most Roman emperors died of murder. One of my favorite non-academic activities was the Severn's production of The Little Mermaid. In the play, I was the first mate and court announcer. I enjoyed learning the catchy tunes and singing them for hours when I got home. Also, I really appreciate Miss Gardy. I also appreciate Miss Leonard and Miss Benfield for teaching me that the arts are just as important as academic classes. Finally, I'd like to thank Miss Gardy who welcomed us into her cat cave every day with a smile and ready to teach. Take a minute to, after promotion, take a minute to thank your teachers and advisors for all they have done to further your education at Severn Middle School, because they really have done a lot. With their help, you know that you have a strong foundation for high school. I want to end this with a quote by Dr. Seuss. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off on your way. Places Will Go by Dr. Seuss. Thank you, and congrats to class of 2017.
We're now going to move to the board's presentation part of the program. First up are the Perfect Attendance Awards. Your name is called. Please stand. Wait till everyone is standing. Receive a round of applause. Perfect Attendance Award is given to 8th grade students who have not missed any school days for one of their years in the middle school. The certificate for perfect attendance for 1 year is given to, please stand, Ryan Barner, Connor Bayless, Taylor Belo, Henry Kramer, Elizabeth Grund, Emily Huber, Christopher Gahan, Haley Carriage, Krista Morell, Ashley Owens, Alec Pikus, Ivy Sarmiento, Molly Salm, Patrick Schaefer, and Sophie Taxon. Certificate for perfect attendance for 2 years is given to Hannah Butler, Mackenzie Dixon, and Tyler Kelly. Certificate for perfect attendance for 3 years is given to Lucas Duncan. Nelligan, Jamie Williams. Next are the Fine Arts Awards. If your name is called, please stand, come up this side of the stage, and receive your award with Mr. Lagarde. Fine Arts Awards are given to the students who have demonstrated the most active interest in drama. There are 2 award winners today, Ella Green and Kristen Morell. Dance. Priya Lockenpaul and Bella Roccagrande. .3D art. Jay Williams. .2D art, Sophie Taxon. The Chorus Award goes to another student whose voice was recognized in The Little Mermaid, Hannah Butler. There are 2 recipients for the Guitar Award, Duffy Burns and Brendan Gauthier. Piano, Liam Ryan. And the Music Award, Cliff Purple. Next are the Foreign Language Awards. The Middle School Language Awards are presented to the 8th grade students who have demonstrated exceptional knowledge of and appreciation for the languages they are studying. In Latin, recipients are Lucas Duncan and Henry Reed. French, the recipient is Sophie Texan. There are two recipients for the Spanish award, Henry Creamer and Priya Lachenhall. Now we'll move to the academic awards. Mathematics award is first. Mathematics award is presented to the student who has demonstrated the most active interest and appreciation for mathematics. The recipient is Henry Creamer. The Science award, given to the student who has demonstrated the most active interest and appreciation for science, Paul Wyro. The Middle School History Award is given to the student who has actively demonstrated the most interest in and appreciation for ancient peoples and diverse belief systems. The recipient is Priya Lachenhall. The English Award, given to the student who's demonstrated exceptional knowledge of and appreciation for English, Paul Wyro. Technology Award is given to the student who has actively demonstrated the most interest in, facility with, and appreciation for technology. The recipient is Jack Selby. The Effort Award is voted on by the entire middle school faculty. It is given to a student who has demonstrated consistent effort in all subject areas for the school year. The award goes to Alec Pikus. The School Spirit Award is presented to the student who has contributed to Severn through participation in and attitude toward the school, its people, life, and spirit. This award is special because the student is chosen by the 8th grade class. The recipient is Chris Cahan. Sportsmanship Awards are given to the boy and girl who demonstrate the qualities of character, conduct, cooperation, loyalty and faithfulness during practices and athletic contests. The recipients are Chris Cahan and Priya Lakanwal. Physical Fitness Awards. Recipients of these awards should exhibit a combination of physical and behavioral attributes. These attributes include high levels of physical fitness, active participation in class, optimum effort in activities, demonstration of leadership qualities, and a positive attitude. There are two recipients, Cameron Norman and Brooke Robbins. The Dolores Clark Writing Award. The Writing Award is presented to the student who demonstrates an exceptional facility for the written language, who regards writing as a craft and an art, who exhibits a willingness to experiment with form and content, and who actively seeks outlets for creative written expression both within and without the English classroom. The recipient is Kelsey Olson. The Schweffel Memorial Citizenship Award. Mrs. Charles Robert Schweffel dedicated an award in memory of her husband, who graduated from Severn in 1949 and died in 1954. It was Mrs. Schweffel's request that the award be presented annually for outstanding citizenship in the middle school. The recipient of this award is selected by the middle school faculty. The award is presented to the middle school student who exhibits the qualities of loyalty, cooperation, school spirit, and a general positive attitude toward academics and extracurricular activities. The recipient is Priya Lakanwal. The Scholarship Award. The Middle School Scholarship Award is presented to the member of the 8th grade with the highest general average. There is a plaque in the middle school foyer which lists the recipients of this award since 1958. The following student's name will be placed on the plaque to commemorate their achievement in the 2012-2013 academic year. The recipient is Henry Kramer. Principals Award. The Principals Award is given by the middle school head to the 8th grader for his personal growth, his or her personal growth, maturity, dependability, and integrity while in the middle school. This year's award goes to a guy who has shown incredible maturity over the years when things don't go his way. At the end of 7th grade, despite his passion for mathematics and engineering, this student missed getting recommended for algebra. He spent the year in pre-algebra, where he resolved that he would do whatever it took to advance himself to geometry in 8th grade. I didn't make it easy on him. I made him take a Johns Hopkins CTY Algebra 1 course over the summer, take the Algebra Readiness Test again, and score an A on the Algebra 1 final exam, even though he never took the course. I was a little surprised when he agreed to all of the terms, but even more surprised when he doggedly pursued them to success. He's a guy who's not afraid of hard work, who is trustworthy, responsible, and who supports his classmates, even if they sometimes poke a little fun at him. For example, his friends told me that he missed 2 days last week because he was at space camp. His contributions to the Severn community truly make it a better place. Brad Dillon. Community Service Awards. Community Service Awards are given to the students who embodied the spirit of community service and cheerfully gave fully to the organizations involved. There are 4 recipients: Duffy Burns, Kristen Morrell, Eddie Shoup, and Sophie Texan. The Louise McKenna Williams Outstanding Middle School Teacher Award was established to recognize and reward quality teaching in the middle school. The award this year goes to a guy who simply gets what being a teacher in an independent school is. He is the definition of the teacher-coach model, a guy who truly appreciates, sees the value in, and preaches the value of knowing and valuing students in the classroom and on the athletic field. In his short tenure, he has pulled off 3 Severn Middle School firsts: a public speaking class with a student debate held in morning meeting, a middle school literary magazine, and a coffee house where 6th graders get to read their best work to parents, a testimony to the fine writing skills they learn in his class. He has revised and increased the challenge of the literature in 6th grade, as well as reestablished a robust grammar component. Yes, he has been known to steal a donut. No, he doesn't always refill the water cooler when he uses the last drop. And he even once left his assistant coach, me, at school and took the boys lacrosse team to an away game without me. But when it comes to quality teaching in the middle school, well, he personifies that. Mr. Dan Kelly. The Faculty Appreciation Award is given to the faculty member who, through outstanding involvement, leadership, friendship, and moral support, best embodies the spirit of the school and who the graduating class believes to have been the best influence on their development over their years at Severn. The recipient is Mrs. Leslie Brannigan. We will now present the promotion certificates. Brian Christopher Barner. Connor Michael Bayless. Taylor Elizabeth Velo. Zoe Elizabeth Bennett. Brooke Jordan Bozeman. Kaylin Ann Brown. Duffy Patrick Burns. Hannah Kerr Butler. Heather Kindwin Coe. Dixon. Lucas Allen Duncan. Matthew Craig Ewald. Seamus Daniel Galway. Brendan Michael Gauthier. Kathleen Rose Gay. Ella Lockridge Green. Elizabeth Helen Grun. Allison Taylor Hall. Sarah Catherine Heller. Stephanie Redding Houck. Emily Claire Huber. Christopher Robert Cahan. Tyler Francis Kelly. Haley Briggs Carriage. Priya Maria Lockenhall. Ryan James Lashgary. Adrian Stewart Mann. Anna Carolita Mann. Madeline Kathleen McVicker. Jack Arthur Mellon. Aiden Choate Morgan. Kristen Marie Morel. Darby Marino Koikoi Nelligan. Troy Jackson Nicholas. Laura Grace Rabbit. Henry McDavid Reed. Eric Preston Resnick. Jessica Lynn Riley. Brooke Ann Robbins. Alexa Marie Roberge. Isabella Marie Roccograndi. Cameron Faith Rosen. Liam James Ryan. Ivy Joanne Sarmiento. Molly Louise Song. Patrick Douglas Schaefer. Caitlin Elizabeth Shue. Tyra Anise Scott. John Lauren Selby. Evelyn Taylor Shoup. Savannah Seneco Segrist. Savannah Lee Sneed. James Nicholas Sterling. Sophia Katriana Taxak. Caroline Seaton Thorne. Andrew Ira Van Kirk. Lauren Curtis Wagner. William J. Williams. Marriott Ryan Winchester. Patrick Francis Wong. Paul Christian Stewart Wyro. Please stand. Class of 2017. May I present the Severn 8th grade class of 2017. Now, students, I would invite you to give a sincere round of applause to your parents and everyone who has supported you over the last few years. Thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning. For a good reason, we tend to make big deals on the occasion of graduating from high school, college, but in all honesty, 18 and 22-year-olds are far more finished products, far less likely to change dramatically than you are, the students who are sitting in front of me today. You have just begun to discover your unique strengths and interests, and over the next 4 years, those will develop in ways that you can't even begin to imagine at this particular time. I have 2 pieces of advice this morning for the students. Important, particularly at this important juncture. Advice that I have given to rising 9th graders for over 2 decades and have taken to heart will exponentially broaden your high school and college career. Now, I worry a bit that the adults in the audience who've heard me speak at this event will condemn my lack of creativity or originality. In many ways, it's exactly what I said to the 8th graders, rising 9th graders for the last 6 or 7 years that I've been here. But simply put, this is the best advice that I can offer those who are on the cusp of high school. Because if taken to heart and heeded, it will absolutely change your high school and college career. And that advice is first, be passionately curious about something. And second, in the process, be true to yourself. Too often, we attribute success to innate abilities, and yes, some people are artistically or scholastically or athletically able. In fact, most of you are in some way gifted right now, whether those talents have come to full bloom at this time. But those gifts, those talents, are not by themselves remarkable, nor will they guarantee you easy success in the world without commitment, curiosity, and a passion to pursue it with abandon. There's not one of you sitting in front of me right now who is incapable of being passionately curious and to commit to something. Did not say it would be easy, but I'm confident that each of you is capable, regardless of your innate talent. However, total passion and commitment is a hard thing to do. It's a simple act of will. That is, you're not likely to get up in one morning and decide, okay, I'm going to face this world with total passion and commitment. Rather, that kind of passion tends to take you by surprise. It begins with a twinge of appreciation, an excitement you get when you perhaps behold a terrific performance, or the feeling you get when you look at a challenge that you just have to overcome, or that ecstatic jolt you feel when you make a certain kind of music, or perform a certain acrobatic or athletic act. There may not be a precise name for it, but that twinge, that spark, is absolutely clear when you feel it. It will be a primary job then of yours, those rising 9th graders, in high school, to be open to and act upon that twinge. Let me say that again. To be open to and act upon that twinge. The spark of excitement that you feel when you get a taste of excellence, and to pursue it with total passionate commitment. At the outset of my remarks, I mentioned 2 pieces of advice. The second is be true to yourself. The poet E. E. Cummings once wrote, "To be nobody but yourself in a world that's doing its best, night and day, to make you everybody else, means to fight the hardest battle which any human being can fight. It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are." Again, it takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. As you enter high school, many people will try to make you something that you are not. They will try to convince you to dress or act in a certain way. They may try to convince you that it's not cool to achieve academically. They may ridicule you and try to convince you that what you enjoy doing is foolish. Adolescence is a really tough time. It's the only time in life when you'll be asked to do everything well, when you're trying to figure out what it is that you want to do well. During the next 4 years of passion and exploration, do what you want to do, not what others think that you should do. And in the long run, your experience will be more fulfilling and your life rewarding. Because in the long run, it's not about what you are passionately curious about now. It's about being passionately curious and committing to something. Throughout your life, your passions will change and evolve. This is a good thing. But the model that you create for yourself, how to commit, how to sacrifice for something, will last a lifetime. I look forward to working with you as we together learn, grow, and discover your passions, and as you let your true self emerge over the next 4 years. Congratulations on what you've achieved thus far, and have a wonderful, safe